Look at your DVDs and your VHS. The warning comes on. Criminal copyright infringement is investigated and protected by the FBI. When you're caught, it's 5 years imprisonment and a $250,000 fine.
I'm going to use that as a segue to get right into the actions that was taken against you in that your copyrighted material was using and the steps that you took to counter that. Now, I'll start off with the dates that I've compiled out of the court records that have been posted, and we'll just walk through those dates, and if you could, give us a little bit of a background as to some of the things that were going on during these times.
It will. It will be my pleasure.
May 1981, Sophia Stewart creates a 6-page screen treatment called The Third Eye, which was a, quote, science fiction account of futuristic life.
Right, that was like what part of the body of work given to Fox. Fox had it from all of my work, well, from 1981 to 85.
Okay.
And I didn't know behind my back they were creating the Terminator. To the court system, they told the judge that they took the Terminator from me 19/20 years. It's in the pleading. And their only defense is that the statutes of limitations ran out and Sophia didn't do anything, so therefore the case should be dismissed with prejudice. There's no kind of defense for the Matrix movie, period. Anyway, the judge told him to admit to something like that was willful intent. Willful intent didn't have any defense.
Interesting.
And she also pointed out to them that Sophia didn't know about theft because, look, She's got FBI paperwork here with case numbers that's saying she filed on the Matrix defendants and the Matrix movie. Sophia filed on them in June the 10th, 1999, and if she knew about the Terminators before that, why wouldn't she tell the FBI about them?
Now,
that's common sense.
Now, it's interesting because it looks like in reading through the documents that the defense of using lashes against you tried to penalize you for not knowing that you had been mistreated.
Exactly, and the judge pointed out to them that the statute of limitations clock started ticking the moment of discovery. I didn't discover the theft until 2001 when the FBI told me that the Terminators was taken from me. I had no idea. And since I got them in the courtroom by 2003, April the 24th, they were served by 2004, and it was on by 2004 when my lawyers came aboard July. So everything was on, and I won the motion decision September the 27th, 2004. And let me tell you why else I won. They tried to do a settlement with me. A lot of people don't even realize that. They tried to settle with me in April of 99. But the settlement got aborted. Now listen, big difference here, people. If the settlement got aborted, it means it didn't go through. And so if it had not got aborted, then you wouldn't be able to hear it. But now since it got aborted, the jury is allowed to hear it. It has been admissible as evidence. It's admissible as evidence, so the jury can hear that. Now, their own employees, Judy Newlack, some other Warner Brothers employees, told on them, just blew the whistle on them.
Okay.
Said you seen them use my work, and other people had knowledge of them copying the work.
So this means that at one particular point, Warner Brothers was trying to at least initiate settlement with you?
That's right. They did initiate settlement.
And during
99.
And during this.
And guess what? They know me. I've never had no problems with them. They never disrespected me or said they didn't do it. They didn't even say that in a court of law. The federal court system. If you go through all the federal pleadings, they have never once said we didn't do it. No, that is not our work. Or that's not our work.
Now that is interesting.
They've never denied anything. The only thing they said was they took it and I should have done something about it. And there was no defense for the Matrix, and there are no copyrights put in there. Their copyrights are RICO. Let me run it down to you. The Terminator first copyright. Guess what? James Cameron never wrote anything. He never ghostwritten it or nothing. He's just been lying to y'all for 20-something years. The illusions and lies. When you look at the copyright, the title of Terminator is Terminator by James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd. The ghostwriter is Gail Ann Hurd herself. Her boss who hired her to do it, Pacific Western, which is Paramount. Who's claiming they own the Terminator? The claimant? Hemdale Films.
So that means that one organization owns both franchises.
Exactly.
Now that's interesting.
That's right. That's exactly. Because look, the copyright itself is a RICO enterprise. When 2 or 3 or more people conspire to steal, that's a RICO enterprise. Since when does the studio Warner Brothers and Pacific Paramount and all them own creativity. That's what I keep telling you. How are they going to own something? Cameron is saying that he wrote it, he sold it 50% to Hemdale Films. This is in the media. This is all in concrete. This is history, part of history, because their own history is going to hang them in a court of law that makes them guilty. He's going to say he wrote it, and then he stood up there, sold 50% to Hemdale Films, and his other 50% to Gail Ann Hurd for $1, then he turned around and married her.
Oh, wow.
All that's a sham, an illusion, and a lie.
So that right there is racketeering, influence, corrupt organization.
That's
just right there.
That's right, and that's why it has never been entered into the court system. The copyrights like that would hang them. The federal judge would look at that and say, my God. And guess what? The Matrix copyrights won't be entered in there either, because the Matrix 1 has got about 6 or 7 copyrights of changes and revisions. If it's not broke, why fix it? If it's making money, why change it? You know what I'm talking about? Changing and revision, trying to get farther and farther away from me. And guess what? The thieves are going to protect themselves against other thieves. And when they kept on making those copyrights and changes, they set themselves up.
Now, when you say copyright and changes, now, are you indicating that
every time they change, look, they've put out 6 or 7 different versions of the Matrix 1. And every time they cut and change dialogues and cut it and changes and made revisions, they have to copyright it. And then these copyrights have got them into dire straits because it shows that they were manipulating.
Right. Trying to hide infringing activities.
Exactly, and that's why they can't enter them into the court system. The judge would automatically know. I just told you, there are no copyrights entered into this federal court system, and they won't be. And not only that, they're sitting up there putting all the ghostwriters in there. Let's run down the ghostwriters.
Okay.
For Terminator, look, William Wisher, Cameron's boyhood friend, and Randall Franks.
Okay.
And let's for the Matrix, the Wachowskis, William Gibson, Deborah McCall. Now, look, if you are a master writer and you like Picasso, you don't need any ghostwriters. You don't need anybody to help you.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're operating more as contractors, not creators.
They are operating as contractors, because when you don't have any creativity, you are a contractor.
Exactly.
Exactly what you are.
Now, to back up a little bit, now, I want to get a little more history into this. Now, in 1981, when you sent your treatment to Susan Merzbach, Vice President of Creative Affairs, what was your response from her?
When I sent it to her?
Yes.
No, it wasn't a response. She gave me the response. When I sent it to Fox, I was looking for Lucas. Lucas was over there, and I wanted Lucas to direct mine because I admired the way he directed Star Wars. It was great admiration. So I went looking for him. Because guess what? Fox would have never got it if he had been in another studio.
Oh, I understand now.
Yeah, so I was looking for him, and Susan Merzbach, as the vice president, got hold of it. How she got hold of it, I don't know. But she was there at Fox. But I'm saying when it went in looking for Lucas, she got it. She called me and she wrote me.
Oh, okay.
So she was just blown away about it. It's like mind-boggling to her. And she asked me, did I have anything more written on it? And I told her I was working on my epic. She said, well, when you finish it, send it to us. And when I finished it, I called Fox up looking for her in the winter of '83. They told me she'd moved over to Paramount. Paramount.
Very interesting.
And I called Paramount, got her on the phone. She remembered me in my work.
Yeah, she wasn't going to forget that.
That's right, and guess what? She told me to send it over there to David Madden's office, VI Valerie Red, back to Fox. I sent it back over to Fox, and guess what? Madden is over there in Paramount, too. That's right, David Madden's at Paramount also. And guess what? Look who owns it. Paramount owns the Terminator.
Now look at that. That's the RICO. That is the RICO.
Direct access, RICO. Am I right or wrong?
No, that is correct. According to how RICO is defined, that is correct.
And then guess what? Warner Brothers lawyers, Bruce Isaac, is going to tell a federal judge, the very people who had direct access to my work, do not question them, don't bother them. They don't need to be involved in this case.
That is utterly ridiculous.
Man, isn't that something? Isn't that ignorance?
That is just utterly ridiculous.
The very people that had direct contact, Susan Merzbach, David Madden, Valerie Red, all these people, do not bother them. It was so funny, I was laughing.
And those are the people who you have communicated with about getting your work.
Right, but they gave in Laura Lee. Laura Lee, she's the editor of Fox. her too. She wrote me a letter too, saying that there was administrative interest. They were interested in buying your work. Now we need you to resubmit with a agent that's signatory with the guild because we want your work also. Want it back. Now, how are you going to have my work for 5 years?
And then say you want to resubmit it to the guild.
You want it to be resubmitted. Come on.
And
5 years. It don't take you 5 years to know if you want to buy it or not.
And interestingly enough, apparently it had already been used because the Terminator was released in 84, correct?
That's right, and that's why they was giving me the runaround.
Stalling.
The stall tactic.
That is it.
They weren't going to do nothing. They had already stolen it, so why buy it if you didn't already stole the product? You think I'm a fool? Man, come on. You know, I discovered this years later, 2001, but hey.
The truth is the truth no matter when you find it.